We may be seeing a shift in sentiment as we speak. Chinese stimulus seems to be back on the menu as we see Chinese stocks up 7+% here on the index. I'm looking at the Hang Seng index right now. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ are down slightly at the time of recording this, and commodities are having a great day. Gold is up 1.4%, silver's up almost 4%, and copper's up 2%. Meanwhile, oil prices seem to have found a bottom around that 67.50 level, now up 2.4% on the day, at least at the time of recording this video. Please remember that when you guys see this video, between that and when I record this, the editor's got to chop it up, make it all look nice, and get it set up for you. So with that said, let's jump into what we can expect for this really key week as we have CPI coming on Wednesday. Let's jump in. Stock market is slightly lower here today, and it's an interesting week because you've got inflation concerns, you've got several central banks reporting their decisions and outlook for the future, and all of that has the potential to really move markets substantially. And one thing with the stock market that I see right now is that it's a pretty one-sided equation at this moment. And when I say one-sided, what I mean by that is that the put-call ratio, which tracks the volume of puts versus the volume of calls, which of course, as a reminder for new traders, puts are bearish bets that you can buy in the options market, and calls are bullish bets that you can buy in the options market. And we've seen a major shift over recent weeks where the put side of things got real popular right around the election. People were buying puts because they were scared. That ended up being a short-term bottom in the market. And then things swung back recently the exact opposite. People have been feeling very optimistic, very risk on. And I actually made an analogy on the live stream today that I think is really relevant to this topic. So check out this short clip. Think of our boat, right? If this is our boat, tilted, right? This is the boat tilted, or the boat, flat, or the boat tilted the other way, right? Let's imagine that we're looking at the front of the boat and is it tilted one way or the other? This is, sentiment. This is a sentiment. This is a sentiment. Right now, if this is bearish, right? If the boat's tilted really bearish or the boat's tilted really bullish, right now, we're like right here. Everyone is so bullish. And the reason that is very key to watch is that when you have everyone's over here, right? Everyone's piled up over here. When something comes along to spook the market a little bit, right? Just a little bit. For example, I'm not saying this is what I think is going to happen, but if we got a scare in inflation this week, what happens? A lot of these people shift. The boat can flip very quickly if everyone's on one side of it. So although sentiment is not a reason by itself, in my personal view, to actually take a trade, it can be very useful for understanding the built up or pent up potential energy of a chart. And I do think that the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, which have been incredibly one-sided recently, may have room to have a healthy corrective pullback. When looking at the S&P 500, we could very easily see a 4 to 5% correction, and it would still very much be in the realm of possibility for a very strong upward trend to continue. I wouldn't be surprised by that, and I wanted to show you a chart from 2018 right around this time. In 2018, it seemed like a relatively low volatility year with no problems whatsoever. And then right around Christmas time, there was a major sell-off in the US stock market off of trade war concerns. Does that sound familiar? Well, with the return of Donald Trump and the pent-up kind of tension between the West and the East, specifically China and the US, that trade war stuff could be coming back into the picture. I bring this up not necessarily because I'm a big bear on the stock market, but it is a risk. And when you see everybody on one side of a trade like this, which feels very similar to right now, it is worth mentioning that the boat can flip very quickly when everything gets one-sided. For the NASDAQ, I would not be surprised if we do get a bit of a pullback that we could see prices come back down to things like 21,200 or 20,400, and again, still be in the realm of a very healthy overall upward trend. In fact, I'd really like a pullback because it would give me an opportunity to buy into some parts of the market that I like. By the way, I showed you the put to call ratio earlier, but we're also getting on the top setups page some interesting setups, specifically NASDAQ, gold bullishness, copper bullishness, and these are, of course, taking into account economic data, technical readings, and sentiment. This is my watch list. I use it every day to find the trade setups that I take. take. And if you guys would like to try out the Edge Finder, you can currently get 30 days access to the Edge Finder through our trial system. If you'd like to apply for a trial, there's a link in the description down below. My recent Bitcoin trade is not going too well, and it looks like I might get stopped out on this one. I tried to buy the pullback here recently, and honestly, this pullback may have been a little too aggressive. Fortunately, it was a really small position size for me, and I made really good money on the Bitcoin run up this year. Right around this time, I went long prior to the election and caught this big swing up, ended up trailing out of the trade right here. So although, I may give back a little bit of those profits, I'm still very happy with how I've done overall in Bitcoin. I'm looking for, either this thing to snap back through the highs. Otherwise, I'm going to likely trail out and just move on and find other trades that I like better. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that the Edge Finder is giving us a bullish reading on gold, but why am I not in a long trade already? Well, what I'd like to see personally on the price action side. So when I get a reading from the Edge Finder, a bullish reading, for example, it doesn't mean for me that I'm going to just go take a trade right off the bat. What I'll start to do once I get a bullish reading is go take a look at the chart and look for a reasonable potential entry point. So what I'm looking for on gold would be a breakout through these levels here. And if that happens, I may look for a possible retest entry so long as the Edge Finder is still giving me a bullish reading at that time. I like that trade quite a bit. If I take that trade, it'll get shared inside of our Discord channel, which is linked in the description down below. A couple yen currency pairs are also showing up on the Edge Finder. I wanted to show you dollar yen here this morning. What we've got, if we pull up USD JPY, is prices are actually pulling back. And I think that this may actually be at a bit of a hedge opportunity for my portfolio. And what I mean by that is that, of course, the dollar yen typically falls in response to risk off moves in the market. So if I can find the right setup, I may look at dollar yen on the short side, going along with this momentum that we've recently seen picking up to the downside. So looking for a pullback, maybe an opportunity there. And if I take that trade, like I said, it will be shared inside of our Discord channel. Speaking of Discord channel, I also have a really solid trade going on the Hang Seng index, which is not something I trade that often, but I really liked the technical pullback here to the 61.8% retracement after that huge run up off of stimulus optimism. We actually saw a price come back down, and I figured there may be, again, I'm going to sound like I fortune told this. I didn't know this would happen, but I did think that there was a good chance that stimulus would come back into China to keep up with some of the Western stock markets that have really done so well. Meanwhile, the Chinese stock market has been a really tough tale over recent years. And my thought process here was it was a low risk reward, kind of contrarian trade to get long Chinese stocks. And I did that, and I've got my stop loss trimmed here. I'm looking for more upside in this one, and if it happens, I'll look to trail stops further. Here's that trade, by the way, shared inside of the Discord channel. I mentioned every trade that I take gets shared inside of our Discord channel, and there's two things I've got for you. There's a free option and a paid version. If you're interested in joining the free version, you'll be able to see some daily trade ideas and analysis shared by myself and our team. So if you're interested in the free version, there's a link in the description down below. And if you'd like to sign up to get access to the trade alerts being shared, you can also send us a direct message using the first link in the description down below to speak directly to a member of our support team, and we'll go ahead and get you a nice discount because you made it this far into the video. So again, use the first link in the description down below to chat directly to a member of my support team who can set you up with a membership discount today. Also, I just wanted to respond to a question that I get pretty frequently. Nick, in the US, which brokerage do you use to trade Forex? And the answer is Oanda. If you have not already checked out Oanda, there's a link down below in the description. Oanda is a brokerage that I've used for years. They have so many cool products and services that actually come free to their clients. And I would highly recommend, if you're looking for some free tools to check out, that you check out Oanda down below in the description. Again, like I said, I've used them for years. I've been super happy with the service that they've offered me, and I know a bunch of the people there. So check out Oanda down below in the description. They offer US traders some really special sign-up perks and bonuses. So everything down below in the description. If you're looking for a better brokerage, then stick around for a second. I'm going to tell you how you can get some free sign-up perks with great brokerages all around the world. Whether you trade FX or indices, commodities, futures, all of the above, I'm going to show you a really cool way that you can get free sign-up perks with your new account. So if you're interested in switching into a different brokerage, you can get things like deposit bonuses or free stock shares, or you can even get access to some of our products for completely free. All you have to do to find out current perks being offered to new depositors is go to a1trading.com/brokers. That's a1trading.com/brokers. And as you look at that page, you'll see all these different offerings that we've currently locked down for you guys as subscribers, as viewers. Now, of course, we get something out of this. If you choose to use these links, you'll be supporting our page. But in return for the viewers, we've got great sign-up perks available for you guys so that you get some free game just by signing up for a brokerage if you're looking to do so. So check it out on our website. You can find current deals at a1trading.com/brokers. Thanks for watching this video, and on the screen right now, you'll see some other options of other videos we put together that might be helpful to you in your trading career. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.